back for round 4, the last round here. Hopefully we can win this round so we can get some prize for this event. Looks like we'll be on the draw, so we'll get to start on 2 again. So, land go, of course. Let's see if our opponent's a 2-dropper here. He is not. Yep. Hoping for some sort of mana acceleration or card draw. Target creature gets +2/+. If this guy makes it to the end game, could be good for an alpha strike. If it will win us the game, want to make sure I play a few swamps here so I can use it if necessary. Our opponent gets Earth and Goo. Cumulative upkeep red or green gets a +1/+1 for each age counter on it. An age counter, basically every time you play cumulative upkeep, you put an age counter on it and then pay that much mana during your upkeep for each age counter on it. So next turn he'll have to pay a red or a green. If he does, he gets to keep the creature and it'll get +1/+1 and so on from there. I don't know that he will actually do that because that means he'll have to make another 3-drop. He might though, because that guy, I mean, 3/3, and it does get trampled, so I don't know how long he'll keep it around, but it may stick around for a turn or two. I should have played a swamp there, but I wasn't thinking. Our 3-drop is Mana War, so our opponent's Earth and Goo is irrelevant because we're just going to bounce it back to his hand. Mana War just returns a creature to its owner's hand when it comes into the battlefield. So, and that means we get to get in for 1 damage. And who knows, that 1 damage might be the difference at the end of the game. A 2/4 reach. So we get a Towering Indrek. That could be good. It's going to stop us for a while, I'm sure. Unless we get something that just deals with it immediately. Evil Twin. I think we're gonna, let's see, you have to pay blue and black if you copy to kill whatever you copy, so I think we're just gonna copy the Mana War and then bounce the Indrek, which accomplishes almost the same thing. It gives us a 2/2 instead of a 2/4, but we wouldn't have been able to pay to kill the 2/4 with the Evil Twin ability, so this way we get in for another 3 damage. So we're doing alright so far. We have a pretty clean board presence. Our creatures are kind of weak, so they're probably going to be outclassed pretty soon. But we've gotten in for some damage, so we have a little bit of an advantage we can press here. Turn target creature to its owner's. Okay, so he got a Mana War that is unblockable. Horsemanship can only be blocked by creatures with horsemanship. So, little return the favor here. But not altogether terrible for us. The 3/3 unblockable could be a problem, but there are plenty of ways to deal with it between now and then. Alright, we get a mystery. Skeleton Ship. When you control no islands, sacrifice Skeleton Ship. Tap. Well, the rest of that is irrelevant, so that sucked. But it happens, so opponent's going to make a 6-drop now. Exalted Dragon can't attack unless you sacrifice a land. That's actually pretty good for us because it is a 5/5 flyer. It will block any flyer that we have, so that is a problem. But it's not beating us in the face every turn, so that's a good thing. He may sacrifice lands to attack with it, but I don't think he will just because of how much of a disadvantage that is. So we get a 4/4 flyer, but it does Fire Breathe, so if he's willing to block it, then we can just, we'll be able to kill it. So we'll probably attack before playing a creature next turn just to see if he wants to do that trade. And then I'll just make another 6-drop if he does. Because 6-drops are fine. I mean, they're not nearly the quality of 8-drops, but there are a lot of good 6-drops. Okay, this is not the new Borborygmos, so that's really good. Put a plus. It's still very bad for us. Bad enough that I may not attack now, because we don't want him to put +1/+1 counters on these guys, especially this guy. No, we would have to triple block, and he would kill at least 2 of these guys. I think I'm just going to attack. Although he probably will not block this attack, so he can put a counter on it next turn. Of course, we don't know. He doesn't know what we're going to get for our 7-drop if he doesn't block. So, I'm still going to attack here, because we got to try to make up some of the race of this guy. And if he does block, then we keep that from getting a counter. Okay, so he did not block. We're not going to pump. We're just going to get in for the damage. Play a swamp so that we have some extra swamps for this guy if it matters. And then try to make a 7-drop that will hopefully deal with Borborygmos. 6/4. Well, that's good. That gives us the option to still kill this guy on a triple block. So it will at least... we actually can just double block here and save this guy. So that's fine. Alright, this guy's not that bad, so we can deal with that guy. We really need to deal with this guy. Alright, so we're gonna put this and this in front of Borborygmos to prevent all the trample damage. He will get to kill both of them, unfortunately, but we still have this guy, and any creature will deal with this guy pretty effectively. So we're going to attack. I feel like he has to block this guy at some point. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and pump for 1 to trade, and then make another 7-drop. 7 drops are fine. Although there is always the 1 in like 250 chance you'll hit Phage the Untouchable, which means you just lose automatically. So 5/6 flying, and 5/6 flying's good because it deals with this guy, and we can still attack in for damage, hopefully trying to win the race against this guy. And now we will be able to make 8 drops next turn. And having a flyer is really good for this guy, because if he doesn't get a flyer, we can get in, and hopefully, as our opponent gets a 7/6 reach. So happens. Why would our opponent attack with this guy? Well, we'll block and they'll bounce. Could have been a dummy check just to see if I would be smart enough to block it. Alright, so we get an 8 here. Hopefully it outclasses this guy. There are quite a few good 8s, as I've mentioned. That is not one of them. It is a 6/6, so it does block this guy if it has to, or it doesn't block this guy. But I know at the beginning of our upkeep we have to put the top 2 cards of our library into our graveyard, which is not too concerning. Unfortunately, the spider keeping our Chancellor at bay is a very bad thing, because this guy is killing us in 4 turns if we don't do something about it. That's good. So that's actually really good. Right, so we're really behind here. Yes, we'll do that. A few cards we could still hit, so we're not in terrible shape. I'm not really sure what our opponent is waiting on here. Would you like to put the top 2? Yes. We'll keep. save us. If our opponent sees the onboard trick, we're dead this turn. But we're going to give him the option to make the mistake. Because he can just activate the second ability of this guy to kill this guy and swing him for this and this, which we cannot block either of them. So he's probably reading it or thinking about it, trying to decide if that's what he wants to do. Yep, that's what he did. So. It's always a good idea, even if your opponent has you dead on board, make them play it out, because it's always possible they might misclick or forget to do something. You never know. So. Alright, so we're going to that was game 2, right? Oh, nope, I think that was still game 1. Crap. Alright, that was game 1. So, go into game 2, we'll be on the play. Our opponent might be double queuing here. I don't know why it would be taking him long to sideboard. So, we'll just wait it out for a moment. Alright, here we go. Play first. Yes. Mulligan. Never. I don't even know why they give you that option in a Momir daily. Land go, land go. Land go, land to drop for our opponent. Unworthy dead. 1/1 regenerator. Not anything I need to be worried about right now. Discard this forest. One 3 flying vigilance. So flyer early on is pretty good, especially one with vigilance that can block things like this on the return. So I'm pretty happy with that pull there. Unless, of course, our opponent just plays a creature that invalidates it. That would be terrible. Power toughness is equal to the number of basic land types you control. So right now it's a 1/1, so we're perfectly fine with that. Our opponent will probably start branching out into other basic land types here, though. So it will slowly get bigger, but hopefully we can just outclass it with our creatures. Like another flyer, a 4/4 flyer. Well, we are going super aggressive, this game looks like. Because this is going to prevent him from attacking. This guy prevents both of these guys from coming over right now. Next turn we're going to get him for 5 in the air. This guy's really good. So one of the advantages of Momir is you get around the mana requirements. So you can get some pretty good creatures. This guy has haste and no other abilities that are relevant in this format. So he's probably going to hit us with that guy soon. And he did pump the riders, so Gathan Raiders gets +2/+2 as long as you have no cards in hand. That will almost certainly happen in just a few turns. So we will not be blocking here because we'd rather this guy get to a 5/5. So we'll take a few damage from Akuda while still using this guy to keep this one back. So we're going to take a few damage here, but we are pretty pretty good at the moment, I think. Trample. Persist is not relevant because when the creature dies, it ceases to exist, being a token. So the persist is not that good. So it's just basically a 5/2 trampler. I don't really see a reason to trade for either of these right now. When this guy's going to get bigger soon, and we'll hopefully keep. Hopefully, our 6-drop will be big enough that we can not have to worry about those. And so it is. It's a 4/4 fear too, so well, this guy can block forever, but it will keep both of these at bay, and that's what's important while we attack in with our 2 flyers. Although this guy, it might almost be worth trading for this guy, because 5 is a lot. We'll see what our opponent does. Ooh. 4/5 flying vigilance. That's really bad because that stops this guy and this guy. The other ability won't matter because, again, everything's a token. Are we willing to trade this for this? Yeah, that seems like a fine trade. Any number of creatures can deal with this guy later. So we need to, because this guy's vigilance, that's bad. We need to deal with that. Oh, each player chooses war or peace. The war players get +3/+0. The peace players get +0/+3 to all their creatures. Do you want to choose war? Yes, because suddenly these guys become much better now. And this guy is fantastic now. Although I wish this got one more so we could block, or we could get through this guy, but we're certainly attacking here now to see if he wants to trade. He chose war as well. Pretty much everybody chooses war with this when that card comes into play. I'm curious to see if he will want to block here, because that is a lot of damage. Because if he doesn't block here, we could just win next turn by swinging with all of our flyers. So he does block, which is good because we still have 2 big flyers that are going to get through for a lot of damage next turn. Although he does have this, having trample is very bad for us right now. So we're going to try to kill this turn with these Gathering Raiders. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad, actually. Okay, so there's no point in blocking this guy because it's going to do a lot of damage. This dies to anything we don't want it to die yet, so we're going to block here, there. We want to get rid of this guy, so block there and block there. We're going to take 8, but we're still not super dead. There are any number of creatures we can hit right here that still win us the game. That is not one of them. So, next turn, we does have a big toughness, so we're not dead yet, but we definitely can't attack with this guy. This guy haste. Can no, we definitely can't attack, so we have to hope our opponent does not hit a haste creature. And then basically he's going to be left with this guy and whatever creature he gets. Okay, that's not terrible. Oh, wow, I didn't think about the Minotaur having first strike, killing the angel, and so we actually survived that combat with our avatar. That's actually very good. Um, that's what I'm talking about as far as onboard tricks. I should have been paying attention, and I would have realized what was happening there. Oh, that's what we need. So we are not dead yet. Not dead yet. So this guy has trample. Okay, so it doesn't do anything, it just tramples. But we're going to gain 3 life, both upkeeps. I probably could have attacked with the flyer there, and then blocked this guy, and I would have had enough life to live. But I'd rather just kind of play it safe, and then just block here and trade those out, while I have this guy to gain me a lot of life. Well, that changes things. Does that actually win me the game? No, because this guy doesn't have flying. Okay. Okay, this guy makes everything attack, and they all have double strike. So that's actually really bad, because this guy doesn't kill whatever it blocks now. Or does that... Wait a minute. I do have to block both of these, because they have double strike. Which one would we rather kill? Oh, this one has trample, so kill this one here, just block, soak up the damage from that one. Okay, the good news is he has to block when I attack this turn or he dies, so this guy's gonna go away. If I could get any sort of haste creature, he probably loses here. Firebound Overseer. Well, that's good. So we have to attack, and he has to block. So that leaves us with a 6/6 and him with nothing. Oh no, he'll still have this guy, because it's bigger than I am. That sucks. Wow. Something good. 7/5. Well, that's not terrible. We have to block here. So we're going to be down 2 creatures now. Basically, we want something with flying and haste. That will not save us, because both of these will be attacking, and this one's going to do 14 damage, and we're only going to gain 3 life. This guy's a pain. Oh yeah, so he just lures and we're dead. Make him go for it though. Always make him go for it. Oh yeah, I don't know why. I thought I wasn't paying attention. Alright. Well, we ended up 2 and 2, so we didn't actually get anything. Um, but hopefully this went well. So we'll be doing lots more of these. Thank you guys for watching.